And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler. It's time for another edition of the Ben Healy Show. Currently joined by Wheeling University head track and field coach Ben Healy. And Ben, another strong performance for you this week before Easter at the Cherry Blossom Invitational. Talk about that Invitational overall and what you saw.
Yeah, it was a really good meet. There was a lot of competitive schools and everything there, and just an opportunity for us to get out again before Easter to have some good competition going, into these last few weeks before conference.
And you talk about that last meet before Easter, starting April, starting that stretch run towards the championships. How big was that for your team to have success as you get into this final month of the season preparing for outdoor?
Yeah, it's just like what we've been telling the team, trust the process, keep working hard, and now's not the time to, take it easy or anything, keep pushing, trust what we're doing, that the PRs are going to come and everything. So, it was huge for us to have some big, performances and everything this weekend.
And on the women's side, led by Autumn Kirshner, she competed in 3 different events on the weekend, her top 2 being the high jump and the discus. Talk about her and how she's able to manage those different field events.
Yeah, it definitely was a busy day for her. She had, they moved the throws facility, I guess, over the summer or whatever, about 5 minutes on the road. So it was actually a drive. So that was definitely fun balance, trying to get her throws in, pick her up in the van and bring her back. But, she just does a great job of keeping herself calm. And, we talked about maybe scratching one of those events, and she was like, nah, I'm going to do them all. And, just having that energy and, vibe to really want to go after it. I think she got one run through in high jump before she actually started competing. So, and competed really well there. So, she just has a really great energy.
And on the men's side, your 2 leaders kind of in the track and field events continue to shine, Alex Rodriguez in the pole vault, Magnus Polkner in the 800. Talk about those 2 and kind of how they've taken those leadership reins.
Yeah, Magnus does a great job. Any race that he's in, he does his homework and looks at who's competing against. He had 2 guys that were really quick and everything that pushed him through the race, were able to help pull him through in a really good time and everything. Going into those races, I think he does a great job, again, doing his homework on his competition, but also staying calm and kind of leading by example there, in the sense that, it doesn't matter who you're going against, but just to bring your best effort and everything. So I think he does a really good job at leading the team in that way. Alex Rodriguez, in the pole vault, continues to do well. It was a little bit colder of a day. Wind was blowing all over the place, which makes vault very hard. But, he does a really good job at making sure he is focused on what he is doing. He doesn't really let anyone else kind of determine his energy or anything for the day. So, having those leaders in that way really kind of show the team how to act in those scenarios has been really big, especially for our young team and everything.
Currently joined by Wheeling University head track and field coach Ben Healy. And Ben, as we hit this final stretch towards conference, you have a couple of athletes leading the conference, a couple more in the top 2 or 3 in their event. How big is that to see where they are amongst the conference, and talk a little bit about that conference competition?
Yeah, I just had my coaches meeting yesterday, and we were talking about the conference standings and everything. It's really big for us to have, a bunch of people, not only in the top 3, but also just in the top 8, even as freshmen, top 16 qualifying for conference, has been really huge. So, again, as we're growing, it's just a nice spot for us to be in, where we can say, all right, there's talent here, not only that's going to compete and do well this year and everything, but also for the years to come and everything. As for the conference, competition and everything, there's a lot of good people in a lot of different events. It'll be a fun conference and everything. But I really think that if we hunker down and stay focused at conference, we're going to surprise a lot of people with what we're able to do at conference.
And this week, guys, going to the Westminster Invitational, just a short drive away in Pennsylvania. Talk about what you're going to see at Westminster and some of the competition.
Yeah, so, we'll actually get to run some of our distance guys in the 10K, which will be, a fun, different race. It's a very long race on the track and everything. Some steeplers doing steeple as well. Getting those events in again. Hopefully the weather should be a little bit nicer this weekend. So, getting those athletes in those events, here in the last few weeks leading up to conference should give them a really good confidence boost. It should have really good competition there. I know they have good vaulters that always show up to this meet. So for Alex and Taven, they're going to have some really good competition, which should push them, again in this place. And then on the sprints and everything, there's going to be good competition. Entries haven't been finalized yet, but there's going to be good competition, and just, again, getting our guys to stay relaxed and be ready to compete, no matter who's there or whatever. So.
And finally, looking at this team, a lot of young talent, as you said. Talk about the growth you've seen from them from the first outdoor meet to now as they get ready for a championship event.
Yeah, there's been a ton of growth. Just in the outdoor season too, from them coming to outdoor, first year learning how a college meet is run. Indoor is a lot different than outdoor, how those meets are run. So we're spread out a lot more on the outdoor track, and them being able to focus and be there for each other and make sure they're getting to their events on time, checking in with me and the rest of our coaching staff to make sure that they are, doing what they need to do, has been huge. They've just been really pushing the culture in the right way and everything in that sense. Athletically, they've just been performing, without a doubt in their mind of who they're going against or anything. So, it's been really nice to see that progression and everything in them.
Thanks, Ben. Good luck this week. Can't wait to see you out there.
Thanks, Zach.
For Wheeling University Athletics, I'm Zach Ziegler.
And I think it's very important for everybody to be engaged because that everybody's on the same page.
It's about, who's willing to change gears at the right time.
Go out, go have fun, and just take it to them.